I gotta show you what I just discovered. There's a frog in my garden. What a welcome friend. We're out in the desert, and he must have been buried in my really wet and moist box here. But look at him. Look at that frog buddy. Hey pal, you're welcome to stay as long as you want. You sure are cute. Oh, get back in there. Go hide in the potatoes. Enjoy. Don't get too hot in here. It gets awful hot. You know that because you're living in here. See you later, dude. Okay, I have a little update to my yard. I put in 4 new boxes here and filled them with white onion sets. I'm going to make a lot of salsa this year, so I need to grow my own onions, and white onions are good for salsa, at least the kind I'm making, which is salsa fresca, or otherwise known as pico de gallo. And another improvement I made around the home is put up this hose hanger so it's not on the ground. I don't know if it's much better, but and I have cleaned up some old growth in my raspberry pot, and these are coming up nicely now. And in addition to that, my blackberry had found its way into the ground, so it's vined up by itself, and hopefully putting it in this cage will help direct it a little better in a somewhat confined space. This is also blackberry, and it's pushing up here as well. Raspberries, they were thriving inside my hoop house, and then I pulled them out about 2-3 weeks ago, and the cold at night really has stunted their growth. But I think that they're not suffering. It's just that their growth has kind of slowed. If I'd kept them in my hoop house, I think they would be probably twice as large and really doing much better than they are. They're not doing bad, and they're going to be fine. I'm going to get a ton of strawberries this year based on the fact that every single pot that propagated last year is pushing up and doing all right. I have no doubts that I'm going to have a large crop of strawberries, and in fact I could easily triple it, quadruple it, even 5 times. I don't have enough pots, and I don't have enough room just to have a huge strawberry farm. Let's take a quick look at my hoop house here. Updates are, I've collected, or I've harvested a lot of spinach lately. Even this morning I've harvested a bunch, and you can hardly even tell that I've picked anything because there's just so much. My onion sets have everything I planted in here has come up. And these are 2 boxes here that I've accidentally put onions over the top of. I had forgotten that I put potatoes in. And by the way, I don't remember if I included it in one of the previous videos. I did mention, I'm sure, that my potatoes were coming up, and then the frost had gotten them. I had left the hoop house open during the day and during the night. But look, they've come back with a vengeance. All this is potato mixed with onion. And just for fun, maybe I'll just leave it as is. Maybe that's foolish, but I'm just going to do it because I like to experiment and try something that I haven't tried before. And you can see here I've got these 4-inch pots, 30 of them per tray here. And in here, these are my backup crops. I've got everything I put out in the greenhouse is backed up here. Eggplant, zucchini, cucumber, more tomato. In fact, one of these is half Roma tomato and half jalapeno pepper, and the other is basically backup of this, like I said, squash, honeydew melon, zucchini, spaghetti squash, etc. And by the way, we also bought some blueberries right here. These are blueberries we picked up, and I will be planting them in their own large pots soon. We're gonna have a ton of peas, as you can tell. Six boxes here, 6 boxes here. Everything probably wants to get wet probably tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. My garlic, I was concerned about my garlic, but I've got it wet enough that it really is starting to push up, and I've got 24 individual garlic plants, bulbs, whatever you call them, coming up. 7 or 8 here, 10 here, 8 or 9 here. I mean, I think I counted 24. And all the onion seed that I've put in is coming up as well. Let's see. Oh, that's actually grass. Grass mixed with onion. I'll pull you. I don't want grass. But planting onions from seed is something I've been doing for a while now. And I will weed a little bit just to clear it up. But I'm going to do something a little new today. I'm going to show you. Okay, so what I'd like to do here is show you that I picked up a wood door frame recently, and I'm turning it into, oh hello, this is a gift left by a neighbor dog. I picked up this wood door frame and I turned it into a grow box for my wife. She brought the cardboard. We're going to put flowers in here. But to set it up, I'm going to try to find the most even spot for it in the yard. Let's see. Get it as level as I can. This side should probably come up just a little bit. Let me just put a little bit of dirt in the corner. It's a pretty level spot now. So I'm going to place some cardboard in the bottom so I don't get some of the native vegetation pushing through, because it already is. This yard is full of weeds and such. So I'm going to place this in here and then cover it with some of my stuff that's composting very slowly. I've got straw, I've got vegetation that I pulled out last year, some of the plants that I grew. I will add a lot of leaves and stuff that's decomposing is a little further down in this mound, but I will layer probably half of it with this, and then we'll come back and get some clay soil and some potting soil that's already in here. This spot and this spot here previously had trees that I attempted to grow. I had 2 apple trees and they didn't make it. I thought I was taking care of them. They just didn't do it. You know, I had them for 2 years and they didn't make it. So, and to be honest with you, this area, nobody has fruit trees. The soil is garbage. I thought by creating my own mixture that they'd do well. I think I underwatered them. But at the same time, I thought I was overwatering them. But when I pulled out the trees and the clump of, you know, dirt that they were clinging onto, or that the roots were in, the root ball had not, or at least the roots had not branched out of the previous pot that they came from. It was root bound. I guess I did not transplant them appropriately. I guess you're supposed to be a little more aggressive with loosening the root ball and allowing the roots to want to come out or whatever. Didn't work out, unfortunately. They were cool trees, didn't work out. But let's do this. Let's put this cardboard in here. All right, so I can tell already that we've got pieces that are too large. Not a problem. I'm gonna go in there and step on them. Simple enough, right? Simple enough. Okay, we got one in. I don't need all 3. I think I'll just do 2. It's getting windy now. You know, as windy as this gets around here, it should be the prime place to have a wind turbine at times. At times. I would say 15% of the time is very windy. Now, is that enough to have a wind turbine? I guess if you had a little cheap one, maybe that's worth it. Okay, that's good there. I'm happy with that. I need to get my wheelbarrow that I kind of hide over here. Oh, this has 2 wheels. I like it and don't like it. On uneven ground, it's actually quite a nuisance. So a single wheel, I would probably trade this for a single wheel. I assume the 2 wheels meant that I can carry more, but what's the nuisance really is uneven ground. And here we go. We're going to start by getting some of this composting material that I don't like having in the front yard anymore. It's an eyesore, but this can be a good basis for the grow box planter box my wife wants me to put together. So this is in a sense like hugel culture, where you can introduce a base layer of material such as branches, even logs, and larger material to fill up the foundation of whatever growing space you're in. Oh, I do have some more rabbit manure. Yeah, so I'm gonna just get some of this less composted stuff. There's even some corn there. Okay, that's some good stuff. Yeah, not every cubic inch of your garden has to be primo soil, especially if we're just doing flowers that don't even root very deep. This is just filler, and putting good soil over the top, and over time with watering, it will decompose anyway. I'm guessing I'm probably going to need maybe 4 wheelbarrows of this stuff. This is the old frame door. It's going to work great. Ooh, maybe I won't need 4. Let's spread this out and see. I guess it is pretty shallow. It's only like 8 inches deep. But this is my base layer. Shoot. Yeah, I guess the capacity of that wheelbarrow is pretty good. I mean, it does have a greater capacity. It's just the 2 wheels kind of bother me sometimes. There's one that's always perpetually flat, so I always have to pump it up when I get serious about using it. I'm going to put just a little more. Alright, here's a partial wheelbarrow. Now I'm going to get some of the soil from the immediate area where I previously had grow boxes. I think I had up, oh man, easily 30 in this same space. You can see where there's potting soil previously used, and I'm going to mix this with just the dirt that's here. So that's a clump of leaves that are placed at the bottom of the old boxes. Doesn't look like much now, but I'm going to cover it with decent covering. So it'll look like a planter box. And so right here, some good potting soil. And then a little bit of leaves and some of the clay and sand that's naturally in the area. Should turn out to be a good little mixture. The clay is probably really good for water retention. I'm not going to use too much, but this front yard is kind of look like a little bit of a graveyard since I pulled out my boxes, because these look like, I don't know, I thought it looked like a graveyard. Need to add some more native dirt. I'm going to soak this in. I should have soaked it in before I put this on top. I'll soak it with a hose. Well, I think I'll just grab some shovelfuls of more of this lovely clay. I don't know, maybe I'll put 10 shovels full. A little more potting soil. Again, this is for flowers, but in time we can grow other stuff in there too. This is for my wife. She can have something to tend to herself. Excuse me. Now I'm just gonna simply get in here, twist my shovel around, stir it in, mix it in. All right, time to water it in. I haven't connected this since last fall. It's obviously not mixed in all the way. I want to give it an initial soak. Help revive some of the microorganisms. It seems to me that obviously they're important for roots and for plants. It's a symbiotic relationship with your microorganisms, your roots and your plants, the water. It must go dormant and can live a long time, because even in the desert where there's not a lot of water, you still get microorganisms in the soil. Okay, got it pretty good and soaked. Let's see what I can do as far as mixing it in again. Look at that, even with a good soak, the water still doesn't penetrate all the way. I didn't expect it to entirely. I wonder if a pitchfork would be better. That means walking somewhere. And I'd rather just be here with a shovel. Let's do this. It doesn't hurt to reveal what's beneath the wet layer, because you might think, oh, it's soaking. Not really. In my case, I probably put, oh shoot, just now probably 20 gallons of water in this, and it needs much more. I have a humidity probe that I use sometimes. It's basically a handheld device with a rod and then a hydrometer at the top. Hygrometer, simple device, but you can probe your soil, check humidity. I guess I don't use it as much as I used to. Let's get this wet again. If it looks pretty uneven, well, it is. It's not a perfect mixture yet. It'll get there. But I never considered using an old door frame, and it occurred to me when I was looking at the stuff that was being disposed of, the local window place. I got permission to take their stuff. In the future, though, I wouldn't mind sourcing some glass, because I wouldn't mind covering my greenhouse to a degree with glass. I prefer it 100% glass, but that would be prohibitively expensive for me. Unless I sourced it for free. It's getting to be the consistency that I want. Alright, that's not a bad little mixture there. Not bad at all. It is windy though. I hope it doesn't overpower the mic. Anyway, that's that. My wife will have a nice little spot for her flowers, and I'll be using some more of my composting material, which is an eyesore anymore because it's in the front of the yard. Not sure what I was thinking when I put it there. Anyway, adios.